Well, hello everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of the ETBU Men's Basketball Coaches Show with Tigers head coach Burt West, who is just a couple hours or so away from getting on a bus, coach, and making that long drive up to Clarksville, Arkansas for a quick rematch against University of the Ozarks. First of all, before we get into that, let's kind of review last week's action here at home. A couple of exciting games for the Tigers with a 1-1 record, but let's talk first of all about the game against Ozarks last Thursday night. We had talked about it last week as being one of those potential trap games, and the Eagles came in here and seemed to be fairly determined to make it as tough as possible on you guys.
But Ozarks, and just jumping ahead, Ozarks has still got a chance to make the tournament. So this game coming up tomorrow night is huge for them. And of course, the first one was really big for both of us. And I tell you, we were not surprised, and we were prepared. And Ozarks can really score, and they're hard to guard. And we gave a great effort. Ozarks gave a great effort. We really shot a high percentage. They shot a little bit better than what we wanted them to, and it was an exciting game. I was really excited, for our team. They played so hard and played so well, and took care of business that night. But it was a high scoring game. We hope to improve our defense for tomorrow night's game.
Well, obviously, you guys jumped out early on and got a little bit of a lead on them, but you kind of reached a point where it was kind of hard to extend that lead because I guess, like you say, they can score so well, and so it kind of kept the game closer than I think you probably would have imagined based on the way you guys started the game.
Yeah, and the way we were playing, you would have thought we could have got a comfortable margin, but they just kept scoring and scoring. So we better be ready tomorrow night. They'll be after revenge.
Well, then let's skip ahead a couple more days to the game here on Saturday, which just from my perspective and in my opinion, it may have been one of the more exciting games we've seen here in Ornelas Gym in several years, just in terms of what was at stake. The game, of course, went into double overtime, and the Tigers came out just a little bit short, 95-93, to a very solid, once again, UT Dallas team. It was one of those games, Coach, where both teams had their chances to win it at certain points, and the other team refused to let it happen. The end of regulation, of course, ETBU had a little bit of a lead, and the Comets made some big shots down the stretch. But then in the overtime, they had the lead late, and your guys, with Jeremy Lagarde coming up and making a couple of big shots. Talk about that as a coach and watching that game and just some of the highs and lows you experienced during that.
This season, having a relatively young and inexperienced team, even less than usual am I aware of what's going on around me. I know nothing about how exciting it might be, or how loud, or how quiet, or anything else. I was totally focused on the team and the game, and what it certainly was, though I couldn't say it wasn't exciting. It was very exciting to see a group of young men competing like that. We had them. We just couldn't close the door. They hit these back-to-back big three-point shots to put it into overtime, and they had us, and they couldn't quite get the door closed. And that was just one of those games you hate to see either team have to lose it. I hope it was exciting. I hope the fans loved it. The kids certainly worked hard, gave a great effort, played a good ball game, and we talked before the game. The team that made the fewest mistakes would probably win that game because our execution is improving, our effort is relentless, and UT Dallas is the same way, except they executed just a little bit better. We probably made, I guess we only made one mistake too many. But I think it was a learning experience. There's nothing will put that fire in your gut like losing a big game.
Well, the good thing about that is, I guess, no rest for the weary. You guys, again, you get to turn around the way the schedule works and flip around and play those guys here on this upcoming road trip just 7 days later. Obviously, with the game tomorrow night at Ozarks, that starts the road trip. And you've already talked about their ability to score, which will probably be increased, I would, based on the fact that they'll be playing on their home floor. So there's a tough challenge awaiting y'all tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yes, tomorrow night's game looks dead even at the moment. We must improve our defense, for us to maintain an edge on them, so to speak, because we just could not on last Thursday night defend them well enough. And now, home court's worth 8 to 12 points probably. I think we had a final margin of 15, and you can never tell that last 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, the last 2 or 3 scoring opportunities are often off of free throws and things. So it's a dead even game at this point in time. And the concern, long range, is Dallas played Centenary back early in the year, and UT Dallas will be sitting, preparing, and waiting. And so they will be fresh when we go in there Saturday. And our guys are going to have to not even think about UT Dallas. They've got to go and take care of the immediate business at hand, which will be all we can do. And so I think we're capable of that. So after we deal with Ozarks, then we will travel. We'll be tired. We'll go to UT Dallas and play a fresh team that beat us on our own court in a monster game. And, it's doable. I've had teams in this situation before that had actually recently, we had 3 excruciating losses that were just emotionally devastating, and then go on the road and beat a superior team, a team that would be right at the top of the standings in our conference. So it's doable. The kids have just got to be, they got to execute better, defend better, and really, be determined. And so we'll see how this will be an interesting measure of our team this week, because we have no advantages.
Well, again, those 2 games will be on the road this week. The Tigers leaving today, which is Wednesday, to head up to Arkansas to face Ozarks on Thursday. That game, you can follow it on the ETBU website through Ozarks live stats and things of that nature, so that'll keep you up to date on that game. And then on Saturday, just for Tiger fans, Coach, there will be a video and live stats available from UT Dallas. So if you can't make the short little drive over to Dallas, just follow the Tigers online on our ETBU website. Coach, y'all be safe this week, and hopefully next week we can talk about a couple of big road wins.
Well, we're looking forward to the challenge. Thanks, David.